Andreas Gustafsson was supposed to make his UFC debut Saturday against Preston Parsons, but Gustafsson is out of that fight, and replacing him is Jacobe Smith, also off the Contender Series. Preston Parsons tells me, I think I'm going to give him his first L. Jacobe is undefeated at 9-0 and a highly touted prospect.
You were very complimentary of Jacobe. Can you share some of what DC was telling you? Because, DC likes to, pump up fighters, but you don't hear him often mentioning somebody in the same breath as Khabib.
And I since Khabib, when we didn't really know Khabib and all this, Cormier could not stop talking about Khabib. And he's like, I'm telling you, wait till this guy bursts on the scene, wait till this guy does this, wait till this guy does that. And that's how he's talking about Jacobe. So we will see.
Dana, sticking on Jacobe, I know you said that David Martinez you felt was very special, but to me, Jacobe had the craziest performance tonight, right?
The difference is that I think that from what I saw, Martinez looks seasoned and just Jacobe looks like raw talent. What couldn't that guy do tonight? I mean, he was fucking throwing that guy. Whatever he wanted to do, he did. There's obviously talent there, but I think there's a lot of raw athletic ability with him too. So like I said, I haven't seen somebody like this in a very long time that wasn't already in the UFC. He was very impressive.
Yeah, and he was like heavy favorite, but that's what a heavy favorite is meant to do, right?
100%.
Ragdoll this guy and smash him to pieces.
When you're a 6-1 favorite, that's exactly what you better look like. Yeah, this poor Christian was in trouble everywhere the fight went. No matter where the fight went, this kid was in trouble. And the pressure that Jacobe put on him the entire time. And then the question became, is he going to gas? Can he keep this pace? Because when you look at him, he's 8-0 with 6 first-round finishes. You know what I mean? So that's one of the first things I look at. I'm like, all right, he's 8-0. 6 first-round finishes. How's he going to look in the second and third round? And I don't know. Looked damn good to me.
When he's telling you, saying, hey, you can do all these great things and you can be another Khabib, right? How do you process that? Because it's hard for a beginning MMA fighter, I would think, to imagine yourself people comparing you to Khabib already.
It's an honor, I've been in there with Khabib, and it's like walking into a tornado pretty much, so it's absolutely an honor. But I know the hard work you have to put in to get to that level, and I don't shy away from that, and I'm expecting everything that comes with it. It's been a thing for a while. Obviously, my first dream was to be in the NFL. My dad played football growing up, made a lot of money doing that, and that was my dream, but I was small. I didn't get over 150 pounds until I was a grown man, and once I decided to wrestle and had success in that, I just took off with that. And then obviously you piece the puzzles together, and fighting and wrestling kind of go hand in hand, so I just went with that.
Another fight has been changed on Saturday's card as well. Narulo Aliyev versus Yanal Ashmus. Ashmus is out of that fight. So now Aliyev takes on Joe Solecki. Joe Solecki is trying to hand Aliyev his first loss in MMA. Aliyev has a huge fan base in Tajikistan. They stayed up in the middle of the night and went to a soccer stadium, filled it up to watch his UFC debut. Sean O'Malley wants a title shot regardless of who wins on the 18th. Ideally, Merab beats Umar and I get the rematch is what he says. But if Umar wins, it'll be Umar. That's what I want next, is a title fight. His last fight was a title fight. He lost a decision to Merab, but he wants to get back there immediately and get a rematch with him or fight Umar for the belt. Petr Yan may have something to say about that. He's coming off a win over Davison Figueiredo. But since O'Malley's a bigger money fight, either Merab or Umar would probably be down to fight Sean O'Malley next, even though he's coming off a loss. It was a 4-fight deal that Alice Pereira signed with the UFC, first UFC contract at the age of 19. She tells me she wants to make her debut in March or April and take on Claudia Sagala. Tony Ferguson got something to say about Khabib. Shut up, fathead. Still my bitch. He fought 2-round pro-padded fights leading up to the UFC. Easy to talk when you're not competing, you eunuch. Once a coward, always a coward. Tony has lost 8 in a row in the UFC, but he says he's coming back this year. What UFC fight do you want to see in 2025? A most common response is John Jones versus Tom Aspinall to unify the heavyweight title. Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev makes sense. Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira. If Islam wins on the 18th of this month, the UFC is looking to do that possibly. Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. Max Holloway versus Dan Hooker would be an interesting fight for Holloway moving up to 155. Chandler versus Patty, that may be happening next. Usman versus Buckley, it does make sense. Nina Drama wants Pantoja versus Makayev, and Makayev is thankful for that response.
You rolling me?
I'm rolling. I'm rolling.
Nina was exotic. Proves my weakness. What the kind of legs and styles out of Vegas?
Oh my God. That's so sweet.
If he's back in the UFC, he may get a title shot. Topuria versus Islam, that's a fight that Topuria would like. Topuria versus Poirier, that would be a crazy one. Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus du Plessis. Yeah, if du Plessis wins, makes perfect sense. What fights do you want to see this year in the UFC? Let me know in the comments. Janata Deniz training with Jailton Almeida. Deniz is going to be fighting in March against Vitor Petrino. Almeida's fighting in a couple weeks against Janata Deniz training with Jailton Almeida. Deniz is going to be fighting in March against Vitor Petrino, and Jailton Almeida is going to be taking on Sergey Spivak in 2 weeks. Renato Money Moicano says that I'm very excited to say that I have some big news for you on January 5th, Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If it's about crypto or something, we riot, but he says it's not about that. He also says it's not about UFC 311, where he's fighting Dariush on the 18th. Only thing he'll say about it is some people are okay with being average, others dream big. 2025 will be the best year of my career. Stay tuned. January 5th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
So we starting the year off right. We got a jiu-jitsu 8-man tournament. Some of the best grapplers in the city here in Houston, Texas, January 19th. Come through. If you need some tickets, holla at me, DM me, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Because we gonna thrive in 225.
Aljo wants to rematch Movsar Evloev. These clowns I mentioned saying it wasn't close fight have to be trolling. Kudos to Movsar, but we need to run that back for 5 rounds. I watched round 3. I just don't see how it was anything better than a draw. We have to settle it. Maybe in the future, but right now Movsar has title aspirations. He's the second most likely fighter to have the belt at the end of the year after Topuria, then Lopez, Volkanovski, Sterling, Rodriguez, Murphy, Allen, and Emmett. Khabib thinks Usman Nurmagomedov has the ability to one day become a top 5 greatest of all time fighter because he's only 26. He takes on Paul Hughes on the 25th of this month. State of Iowa produced 6 UFC champs. Russia produced 4 UFC champs. Ireland only 1. So technically Iowa is better than both countries combined. Militich Fighting Systems out of Bettendorf, Iowa will go on to produce UFC champions such as Pat Militich, Matt Hughes, Jens Pulver, Tim Sylvia, and Robbie Lawler. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and donate via super thanks.